This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
And
on that note, if we're all ready.
I'm ready.
You good, Kendrick? You gonna eat that or just watch gravity work?
I was honestly waiting to see if you were gonna wait for the plop.
I thought about it, and then I was like, I'm just gonna call you out on it.
Wait for the plop.
I always wait for the blop.
Nice.
So, welcome back, everybody. As we're now on our new Thursday time, and hopefully that'll keep everybody a little more excited.
We did this on Thursdays once.
Yeah, we did. R.I.P. Josh. R.I.P. Zach. Whoever that was, I don't remember.
Wait, I didn't want to die.
I'll wreck on that. So when last we left off, y'all had made your way out of the sewers after having your adventure and your fight with Core, with the shiny metal dwarf. Y'all absconded from the sewers, running through a what looked like an illusionary wall directly into a cluster of city guardsmen, who were like, "Holy shit! What are you guys doing down here?" And you're like, "Oh, by the way, there's 4 bodies in this room," and you're just, or 3 bodies, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. That's what we were looking for. You should go." And you were ushered up the stairs of learning out of the pit of despair, as Eek, Deek, Theek, and Squeak, and any other name that I forgot, as well as Mr. Bojangles, were there to welcome you back from the sewers. So as you guys made your way up, chatted with the what rank did I give that dude? Mr. Blue Plume. Mr. Blue Plume. Pink Plume was lieutenant. I do remember that.
Oh yeah.
I just can't remember Blue Plume's name or his rank. Because you'd think his DM, I would have written that down at some point.
Right now, he was Red Plume. Blue Plume is the big bad.
Yeah.
Hang on.
The blue one is the big one.
He went to the mayor's house.
Yeah. And this is why we take notes. So pink was LT.
Red is captain.
Red is captain.
Blue is still yet to be identified.
Brigadier General Jack O'Neill.
So as you guys were sort of escorted back to the mayor's estate, and we're given the opportunity to clean up a little bit before you sat down for a meeting with the mayor, at which point you guys had a real brief encounter with the local archmage, who remembers his name.
Oh crap.
The Dick.
Yes, as Robbie so eloquently put.
King Ragorin?
Nope.
King Dick.
Birdamal?
The Great.
Atronix the Great, who was kind of a dick. He is. So after a brief encounter with him, where he somehow pulled some answers out of Robbie, by using magic, he basically just ripped some information out of Robbie, and then he fixed. I believe if I remember correctly, he mended Robbie real quick and then bounced. After which point, Robbie had a brief one-on-one conversation with the Primus, which all of you got to catch glimpse of, as Frank's head animated and had a conversation with Robbie, which Frank's head was not built or programmed or in any way capable of doing what it just did. So after some conversations after Robbie had a conversation with the Primus, the mayor's council meeting let out, and a large gathering of people walked through, and a gentleman came up to Lami, a gentleman wearing the same style of armor with the same symboling as Lami, in a very heavy German accent, asked him, "Who are you and what are you doing in my armor?"
I borrowed it.
And that man was Sir Bartholomew,
Sir Dickhead, Mr. Clean.
of the
Was he bald?
yes,
Yes.
of the shields of the saint or shield
Chris,
bearers.
you know
of
this if you took notes.
I do. They're all
He was-
right
he was
here
the
on an
commander.
IUP
he is
program.
he is the head of the order, and he is very bald, very shiny, and very very large.
He's the bald head of the order. If I
And
know what I'm saying.
after a little bit of flexing between the two paladins, Sir Barthol, and after the two of them showed off their divine swords, Sir Bartholomew left, and you were all ushered into the council chamber where Mayor Alvaron and Ergin were both still waiting after their meeting. Ronan was kind enough to dump the body on the table. And after a brief amount of exposition, several attendants came in and they began kind of doing a quick autopsy on the body. During that conversation, and this has all happened in the time between sessions, Lamy had a brief sidebar conversation with Gerard,
The butler.
involving a letter that had arrived probably 30 minutes after the autopsy started. That has it's a very nice envelope with a silver seal that's in the same color and style as the shields of the saint. And it's a letter from the order. And
Order of dickheads.
yeah. And Lamy, if you want to share that information with the room, now's your chance.
I'm
Or if you want to keep that private, that's entirely up to you as well.
gonna keep it private for now. I don't know what to
Okay.
say.
So yeah, there's a letter. He had a sidebar conversation with Gerard, and he's tucked that letter away. The autopsy takes about an hour. You guys are all being sated with all the food and drink you would like. Are there any conversation you guys want to have, or do we want to jump to the end of the autopsy? Autopsy being a bunch of dudes poking around in the body of this dwarf.
Thought you were going to say in the butt.
A lot of attention is being paid to the 5 holes that have been basically
In the butt.
drilled into the back of this dwarf's head. In like, I don't know, a hand shape.
You
Is it-
learn
is it
something
like
about
this?
dwarves every day.
It's like he's like you're cupping the back of somebody's head, but the thumb is going straight through the base of the spine, through the base of the spinal column. It's like, and then the rest are it's just punched through the bone into the back of the head.
Oh, that's icky.
I would
So-
like to go over to Thrall and have a quick conversation with Thrall. Not a very important one, so I could have it later, but if we're
I mean,
here-
we have a moment. Let's
Okay.
start out with some chill role play. Welcome back, everybody. Let's remember how this game works.
Well, I'm just gonna meander over towards Thrall and just be like, "Oi, Thrall, are you doing anything important at the moment?"
Negative, sir.
I was wondering if when we're not like covered in poo and walking around in the sewers, if you could if we could spar a little bit, because I noticed you have more of a refined fighting technique than someone like I, who kind of just pummels things until they fall down. And I was wondering if you could give me a couple pointers.
I don't see
Ronan,
why
you're
we
very
couldn't.
good at throwing things.
I do like throwing things, but I also would like to get better at like not hitting things haphazardly.
I don't see why we couldn't.
That would be lovely. Thank you, sir. And I curtsy.
Roll for the curtsy, please.
I was really
Because we-
hoping that since it was so soon, you wouldn't make me.
No, we've
Ooh.
established.
That was a nat 19.
You can't say
For,
that for a 19.
so
You don't
it's a dirty 20.
dirty 20. Yeah. So how do you feel about that curtsy, Thrall? Were you suitably impressed?
I'm gonna curtsy back.
Please make a performance check on the curtsy, please.
This is the last thing we need.
Those are the only rolls of the night.
Too ginormous.
That is a 5.
A 5.
Yeah. So
It was an
Ronan,
attempt.
yeah, Ronan's curtsy's a little more practiced than yours, just because he's done it every session.
I don't know if I did it
And-
the first one.
I think
Regardless.
you might have.
much more practice in the curtsy. But so Ronan, you see Thrall give you sort of a curtsy back, and it's an attempt. There's definitely room for growth.
I'll just be
As
like, oh, I could help you with that while you help me with some moves. A mutual helping.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Show
Okay.
your moves.
What is everybody doing during the autopsy while they're kind of having their conversation? What's kind of everybody doing around that central table where you guys initially?
Drinks.
Are we eating and drinking around the autopsy? Like, just like
Yeah, bro.
chilling?
Like a couple.
Dead body, just,
That's up to you. If you're like, hi, we shouldn't be eating near this body, you can
Drinks.
absolutely like do whatever further away.
I'm catching the mayor and Ergen up to speed.
Oh,
What do you-
excellent. I
hover.
need to go see the mayor.
I'm gonna have some moments of quiet contemplation and have some drinks.
Drinks.
is he still hammered or?
He's whatever.
Oh yeah, because he was drunk.
Yeah.
You're less drunk.
He sobered up though in the competition.
You've sobered up a little bit. What are you doing, DP?
I'm hovering over the autopsy.
Just keeping an eye on things. Okay. So we've got Maury with Frank's head, because I don't want to leave Frank out of this. We've got Thalia and we have Robbie all checking out the autopsy. While everyone else is
I'm gonna go sit by Lami and just hold my javelin out and like look at his sword and then look really hard at my javelin and try to make it burst into flames.
It doesn't, despite your best efforts. It gets warm, but that's just because of where you're holding it. But other than that, nothing.
I was gonna say I'm just like kind of doing what Josh is doing, like solitary, like
Just
thinking,
doing some thinking.
but I'm taking my fingers and I'm feeling a certain something in me pocket and contemplating
Oh no.
meanings of things.
I think you could word it that better, but
No, there's a thing in my pocket, and that's totally fine.
Which pocket? Because if it's a
Peter-
front pant pocket, you can totally find
It's not
something
my
in there.
penis. I'm not masturbating.
And that is the tagline to start the episode.
It's not my penis.
So yeah, we'll kind of circle up on the everybody around the autopsy. Atronix is kind of lurking in the back, just like standing next to the mayor's chair, letting them do kind of whatever it is they want to do. He looks very bored. He's just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna wait here until they tell me what to do, and then I will graciously, by all the powers I have, I will go help them with this thing, because that's the kind of man I am. In reality, his attitude is just like, dude, I'm a dick. Like, leave me alone. Why am I here? And Ergen and the mayor are both, they have the dwarf flipped on his face on the table, and the mayor has put on a pair of gloves. They look like calfskin, but they're very thin, kind of like a surgical glove, and he's just kind of like moving things around and poking, and Ergen is just kind of standing there with his hands behind his back, but you can tell kind of just how they're looking. They're not squeamish with corpses. They're definitely not worried about any sort of, like, this is not the first time they've handled something dead. The mayor just seems to be very hands-on with it. And the mayor is like, oh, well, he punched through the skull in 5 different places, but I don't see any bone fragments. You'd think that something that could punch through bone like this, there'd be pieces left, but there's nothing. There's just fingers going straight into the brain. And Ergen's like, yeah. And he's like, well, that's weird.
It drilled into his brain.
Like, there's nothing that doesn't make sense. And Ergen goes, so why? But why would he do that? And the conversation, the back and forth feels very familiar. It's a very comfortable kind of kind of back and forth. And he's like, "Hey, do you remember that one time we found that ambush site off of the woods?" And Erg goes, "Yes, the ambush site that was still populated by people who ambushed us." He goes, "Yeah, no. Besides that, like, we saw arrows go into, like, we saw that one guy take 3 arrows to the back of the head, and his, like, there was still bone, even though it was such a fine arrow point. There was still bone. It's like, this doesn't make any sense." They're just still going on this back and forth. And Ergen turns as the mayor just starts, like, continues to mumble and get closer to it. Ergen goes, if what you're telling me is true, this dwarf was talking up until the other dwarf dropped him. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like a puppet.
This is for the 3 people that are, like, actively at the autopsy, because you guys are having drinks in quiet contemplation. So that you're all
contemplation.
So he was talking up until he got dropped.
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned like a bunch of people with the same last name. It was like Stoneheart or something like that.
He is Darren Stonehearth, last of his clan.
Stonehearth, and they kind of, Ergen looks over and goes, "Do you know any Stonehearts?" And he goes, "No, I don't know any. There's a lot of dwarves in the city, and I don't know any Stonehearts." All right.
She just brought you coffee.
Sorry, I was very distracted. Having his milk and cookies, and I was just like, "Ooh," because I'm an adult. And so Ergen's just like, because as far as this dwarf seems to have been dead for a while. He's been dead for longer than it took you, from what you say, from him to be dropped and then dragged up here. That doesn't, like, the timing doesn't work out. Did the dwarf do any, like, I don't know how a metal dwarf would be able to, like, keep him alive.
I'm gonna look directly at Atronox the Dick and just go, necromancy.
Atronox goes, "What?"
And I just look right back at the corpse.
Fine. And he walks over, he rolls up his sleeves, and he just very politely, but about as rudely as you can without breaking propriety, just like, "Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, move." And just kind of just pushes him out of the way. And he goes and he sort of stands there, holds his hands up, and they start to glow with this kind of sickly greenish light. And he puts his hand, he holds his hands over the body and closes his eyes. And he runs his right hand up to the back of the head, kind of crooks his fingers into a claw shape and slides his fingers into the holes where Kor's hand was. And he sort of lifts, and the head comes up with it. And you see these dwarves' eyes open with that same greenish light. And you hear him speaking Dwarvish. And for Maury, because you're the only person who speaks Dwarvish, I think. And you can read, or can you speak?
I can speak Dwarvish.
Okay, so the two of you, the two guys that can speak Dwarvish, hear that same litany of names and family line.
I will just be repeating it out loud as he says it.
So everyone is hearing Peter Stonehearth, who sired Brigitte, Dorian, and Gareth Stonehearth. Gareth Stonehearth, who sired Arix and Brian Brewer. Eric Stonehearth, who sired me, Darren Stonehearth. I am the last of my clan. And then a pause. And then it loops back. Peter Stonehearth, who sired Brigitte, Dorian, and Gareth Stonehearth. And it just keeps looping. Just that last chunk. And after it repeats 2 or 3 times, Atronix just goes, and pulls his hand out, and the light just fades, and the dwarf just thuds onto the table. And he's like, "Are you happy? That's all we got out of him. Great idea. Thank you."
I am going to step uncomfortably close to him. By the way, how tall is he? Am I looking directly in his face or down up at him?
He's about 6 foot. So like you're within an inch of him, like just with like shoes and stuff like that.
Cool,
so like,
yeah.
you guys are on par.
Since I don't have a nose, I will let his nose touch my faceplate.
Okay.
Yeah, I recognize the magic you used on me earlier. An ally has never used command before. And that's it. And just back up slowly.
Okay. He's unperturbed. He's just he settles back into that dickish demeanor that he's got.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna pigeonhole him into the dick role, but he's
oh no, he won it with me.
He's absolutely just being a dick right now, and he's just like, and then he looks back at the body, just completely dismisses, even looks back at the body. And the mayor and Ergen are looking at each other and having a quiet conversation. And they're like, we have no record of a Stonehearth. We don't know anyone by that name. That might be something. And Ergen looks to you, Thalia, and goes, "Do you know if the Brotherhood has any information?"
Do I know?
From your time there, probably it's a safe bet. There is some record of someone by that name coming into the city on a ship, someone leaving the city on a ship. Like it's safe to assume that you guys have enough information that you can find it.
Okay.
If you went digging.
Yeah.
So Ergen's like, could you?
Oh, yeah.
Would you mind asking the Brotherhood for any information about the Stonehearth family? See how far back they go? Because if they're one of the founders of this city, that might explain the door.
Of course, it might take a while to dig the records out, but we can do it.
Okay. Ergen goes, that's usually the answer I get from the Brotherhood, but so far, despite how long it may take, they've always had the answers we're looking for. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Or not the answers you're looking for.
And so the mayor is like is looking down at the body and is just pulling off his gloves like he and he's kind of giving the air that he does not want to doesn't want to handle this anymore. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and 2 guardsmen come up and pick up the dwarf and carry him away. And the mayor goes, "Well, I think that's all. Until we get more information, I don't think there's anything else we can really do. But do you have lodgings in the city?" And he's addressing the room at large here.
I would say,
Yes.
well, I think we're staying at the Twist and Shout Inn.
Oh, and the mayor's like, "Oh, good. That's an excellent spot. Adam has always taken care of me whenever I run down there."
Which one?
Oh, the whole family.
The whole Adams.
Every one of the
Ringo,
atoms.
George,
Okay.
John.
They've all been great to me. He kind of leans in. He goes, "It's one of my it's one of the places I like to sneak out to when I don't want to be the mayor anymore. I can just disappear down there, and it's just like I'm one of the normal people. It's kind of nice."
Well, you've heard some of my other songs then.
I won't tell a soul.
Thanks.
Ergen's like, I might, but I probably won't. I definitely won't tell the Brotherhood if that's what you're worried about.
Good.
And the mayor's like, well, and anyway, songs aside, I thank you for the services you've done. We have masons coming to seal up the hole in the floor, so hopefully that won't be a problem in the future. But I guess I have to continue running the city as if there isn't something ominous and terrifying under it. But if I can entrust all of you to help figure out what this is and how best to deal with it, you have free use of my libraries. Any aid I can provide, I will do my best to. And he snaps his fingers again, and Gerard shows up with a letter with the mayor's personal seal on it, and he hands it to you, Thalia. And the letter is a basic, not quite a writ of patronage, but basically saying that on the mayor's, you're doing a job for the mayor, and no information should be kept from you. Like, basically, you've been given top secret clearance. You get security clearance. You can read whatever. You can read anything the mayor could read. There may still be some. Not quite. You're not federal in any sense.
You can go into the restricted section of the library.
Thanks, J.K. Rowling.
Children love the books.
It's especially fucked up knowing that you're in a head cold. So the mayor's like, is there anything else I can do for you before you leave? I can't thank you enough for all the work that you've done. That all the work you've done so far.
Yeah, can he get the scroll that I need?
You can ask. Yes. Yes, you can definitely ask him.
So as soon as he says it, then I need apparently a scroll of daylight.
I was going to say no questions asked, but now I'm curious. Can't you see in the dark? Don't your robot eyes let you see in the dark?
Negative.
You know, a scroll only works once, right?
I understand.
Oh. Okay. And he turns and goes, Atronics! And Wisdom goes, yes, Mayor. And he goes, do you have a scroll of daylight that this our metal friend can have? And he goes, I suppose so. Reaches up his sleeve and pulls out a scroll and just goes, promise me you won't use this to blind any commoners.
I promise you.
What?
Roll an intimidation check, unless you're not trying to intimidate him.
Oh,
Are you flexing on him? All right, roll an intimidate check real quick.
Mike's
I love
face whenever he talks to character makes me gig.
it's a 24.
Ooh.
Shit.
So you see, like, what's everybody's passive perceptions?
Like 10.
14.
Actually, because does anyone have less than a 10?
10.
Question. Oh, we lost Rachel.
I do not have.
I have exactly a 10.
Okay. What's yours, DP?
10.
Okay. So you guys all see him hold out the scroll to Robbie, and his hand's got a little extra it's not shaking, but he definitely pulls it back a little faster than he's trying to put off. He
Like a
definitely, like, when he
frightened
hands it, he's
turtle.
like, yeah, like, oh, someone's gonna, like, I don't know what he's going to do to my hand if he were to catch it. But he kind of like pulls his hand back real quick. And he's like, is there anything else I can do for you or any of you?
I'd like a scroll.
Of what?
Any old scroll will do.
Very well. And he reaches and he pulls out this, like, it's about 2 feet long
Oh, Jesus.
Toilet paper.
and has like this really ornate like gold on the ends, and he just hands it to you. Very like, he's, here you are, sir.
I'm going to hold it like a lightsaber and say, what's this do?
Open it.
Doesn't that do the magic thing?
Oh,
Open it, and you will understand what it does. Is there anything else I can do for the rest of you?
You can
I'm
tell me
afraid to
why
open
you
this.
were so scared of the name Farthromax. I still don't know what it's supposed to be.
Pharanax.
Pharanax.
I only spelled it 3 times. You know, that is an old name, and I don't have all the answers I need yet. But when I have the answers and when the information is relevant to you, I will pass it along.
Well, thank you.
Takes a step back and he goes, Mr. Mayor, as always, I am at your service. And he turns and he takes 2 steps and is just gone.
Counter spell.
So,
I wish I had that.
I'm going to walk over to Thalia and
Oh,
I'm going
damn.
to hand her the scroll and I'm going to say,
What were you gonna do, Robbie?
as he was going away, I was just going to say goodbye and cast friends on him just as he's walking away.
oh, this is weird. This is strange.
Ooh,
Hang
Cast
on.
what? Friends?
friends.
I wasn't gonna ask him to do anything. I just wanted him to have a friendly feeling about it and know it was my fault a minute later.
Okay, that's totally fine. So as he walks, he kind of looks back with like, and he's got kind of a smile on his face, but it's the most genuine emotion he's had. It breaks through the veneer that's like oily skin of dickitude, and he's just like, these guys are all right.
I'll
And
just
then-
take a step back.
as he disappears, and then he disappears. What is there a range on that? So real question for you, Mike, are you concentrating or are you just holding it for like a second and then letting it go?
Holding it for a second and letting it go.
Okay, so before he leaves, he turns and he's got that smile on his face and he's about to take that second step, and you just see that look of like, that mother, and he's gone.
So I'm going to
LOL.
walk over to Thalia and hand her my scroll. Thalia, what's this do?
She's frozen in time.
Right.
Oh no!
So we'll get her back in a second.
Oh, she literally is.
No,
a second, I was like,
that's not
"What?"
me. That's not a plot thing. That's
I was-
literally Thalia.
For a
Rachel
second,
was
I was
frozen.
like, how did I miss that? There's no way. What?
Thalia is attacked by the time wizard. The chronoton particles are everywhere. We in Star Trek now. Okay.
I would like to ask the mayor something before we go.
Sure.
Excuse me, Mayor, and I thank you for everything that you have done for us thus far. I was curious if there were any forges in the area that were kind of open use that I would be able to use for like the afternoon.
Well, they're like, well, any forges you're looking to find, your best bet for any kind of forging or smithing or creation, your best bet would be to go out to the range. Look for a place called the Whetstone, and that may be your best bet. It may. Don't let the outside appearance fool you. It is one of the best smiths and it's one of the best spots to do any kind of metal work. And when you see the owner, tell him I sent you, and that'll help smooth things over a little bit. He could be a little grumpy.
I will. Thank you very much. And I curtsy.
Mayor man.
Roll for the curtsy quick.
11.
It's not your best curtsy. It's not your best work. But it's all right. It's okay.
Just okay.
What was your
That's
question,
what
Lonnie?
my ex-wife told me.
Mayor man. I'd like to know a few things. One, where can I take a bath?
He's like, you don't smell too bad. They said they scrubbed you down at the stables.
Not good enough.
Ergen's like, no, not good enough. Well, there's the public bathhouses. You may get a few strange looks being a dragon. But I know the Twist and Shout has some pretty the baths there are on par for the rest of the city.
Good enough.
And significantly more private.
And two, where might I find magical things?
Define
To buy.
Probably
a potions shop, maybe an
But
item shop.
after the incident, all magical shops and items have been relegated to the range outside of the city.
So they're all in the range.
That's by rules that are older, because of rules that are older than all of us combined, with the exception of maybe that one. And he looks over at Robbie. He's like, because of rules older than all of us combined, all magic is to be kept as outside the city as possible.
Understandable.
Anything else anybody want to do? Lami, you had something to give to Thalia before she AFK'd, before she was frozen in time and then disappeared and reappeared.
She's so tall and slender now, though.
My shiny ornate scroll, and I'm gonna hand it to Thalia and say, Thalia, what does this do?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, no noise.
I've got no audio for you.
Nothing, no nada.
Oh, she's muted now in the corner.
Down on the corner. Shit. Not my.
Yay!
There you go.
Hey.
Alright, yay! Sorry, I'm on mobile.
Well, I think you need to just be closer to the phone. It's just like...
You may have to hold it the game, which is not exactly the most exciting. Unless the
Just
mic is
scream
in
at
your
it.
earpieces.
I'm confused.
Can't hear you again. Sorry.
Okay, do I know what this scroll is?
Give me an Arcana check. There we go. We got you back. We need to do as much as we can before we lose you.
Campus Wi-Fi.
Then just froze it again. Frozen mid-roll. How'd you do?
16.
16? It's definitely magical. But it doesn't have the same heft that because you're kind of picking up vibes from the daylight scroll, and that's got like a very steady feel of power. This scroll looks like whatever it's gonna do it super quickly and dissipate. The scroll itself looks really ornate and really pretty. And whatever magic it does very quickly and then is gone.
I want to open it.
Please be a fart.
I'm quite terrified to open it personally.
It's a stinking cloud scroll.
Open it.
I'm not exactly sure what it does. I would be really careful.
So I shouldn't open it.
I got none.
Everybody roll perception to see what she's saying.
Perception to read
Oh
lips.
no!
Okay, any better?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
It's close.
Nope.
We heard close.
is it any better without the headphones in? So welcome back. Technical issues have been sorted. Discord apparently hogs bandwidth and makes everybody cry.
Kendrick
So-
the dinosaur.
Kendrick is a dinosaur. This episode not sponsored by whatever dinosaur beer he's drinking
Opulent
because
wine.
it's garbage beer and we don't want their money.
It's
Dinosaur
not
pee.
garbage. Oh my god.
Dinosaur pee.
It's dinosaur piss in a can. Don't ask how we got it.
Wait, we do want their money.
Oh shit! This episode sponsored by dinosaur pee in a can.
On that note, this episode sponsored by Grizzly Tools. Buy me a bandsaw.
Cleo.
Boy, if that shit works, I hope to God you get your bandsaw. Anyway,
I'm ordering one in 2 weeks.
So yes, hashtag buy Josh a bandsaw.
That's
So-
below the webcam fund.
And Chris is recruited for moving it, and he just doesn't know it yet.
So here's what we
No,
do: we
I-
put it up
we
on
talked about it.
Twitch. We Twitch stream this, and we go donors. You can pick what cause you donate to. Do we get Rachel a better functioning webcam / Discord machine? Do we get Josh a bandsaw, or do we get Kendrick a webcam?
Man,
Or
Or do we
I'm-
get, or do we get
Let's
Chris
start with-
healthcare?
Healthcare.
Let's get do we get Chris some medical attention?
Let's get
I still think that-
Chris some Obamacare.
Oh
You
yeah,
were saying,
let's
Mike?
get Chris on.
No, I
medical
still think
care.
that bandsaw is top of the list.
Yeah, no, bandsaw is multifaceted. That's the thing. It's not just for the game. Bandsaw provides healthcare, according
does.
to Abby.
I can't
So-
argue with that.
for over a year, my donation goal was if I got like half of what a new graphics card was, I would make a video of like just like smooth jazz playing, and there's Twister and me in a Speedo, and there's different like deli slices of like meat and cheeses on every single circle, and whatever circle I land on, I have to eat the thing. And I only ever got like $47. I also like died and stopped streaming.
You
a
have to
lot.
eat the thing
But-
with the appendage that lands on it.
Oh,
Now I want to donate.
Yeah, I'm about to donate like $500. Just kidding.
I can only get my
Yeah,
foot
because you
this
spent
high.
out your $500 on dinosaur piss in a can.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway,
so what were we
EP in a
doing?
can.
Back to the game. Hello,
Anyway,
we took
Lami-
our break super early because
Lami
science happened.
was beating Thalia over the head with a scroll. I believe.
Lami. So, real quick recap. Lami was like, "Thalia, what does this scroll do?" And she's like, "It does something really explosive and then dissipates." And he's like, "I'm afraid of opening this," and that's where we left off.
That's exactly where
And I just give it back to him.
Ooh.
Oh,
Do we have a bag of holding?
So
No,
I
yeah.
probably shouldn't open this.
Go ahead, Lami.
Ronan, would you like to open this?
I would.
Not in the mayor's mansion.
Not in the
I'm
main.
gonna, I'm gonna hand it
Would
to Ronan.
recommend doing that near
Do it.
someone you hate.
Oh. Well, I only hate a couple people, so that's gonna be a
And he killed one of them. Let's be honest.
yeah.
We
I
could
don't like
always
him.
wait for that wizard to come back.
I don't like him, so yes, I agree with that.
I,
He gave us the scroll in the first place, so it shouldn't be that
Ooh,
much of a surprise.
now that that's going on, I'm going to hand my scroll to Thalia.
Okay.
Thanks, Robbie, but I can cast daylight.
No, will this explode if I open it?
Oh. Will it?
Give me an Arcana check, please.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm proficient in Arcana. I would like to help with that.
Yes, you can absolutely assist with your robot. What do your robot eyes see?
So that's an advantage.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, same roll, and it's not great. That's a 14.
This one definitely because you can cast daylight. You know how that spell feels. This matches that. Like this is a genuine daylight
Okay.
spell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just daylight. But you said you can't see in the dark, so wouldn't that be more useful for you?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure I would not get hurt when I opened the scroll.
Oh no, it's daylight. His isn't.
Excellent.
This one's daylight.
Illustrious DM, what time is it right now?
Currently in game, it's probably early evening.
It's like
I'm so
that
thinking
5
about
o'clock?
taking keen mind.
I would say like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Like dinner should be happening soon. Like you guys basically, like, during the autopsy, you guys had dinner.
Can I make it to the range before
Most of you had
things
dinner, Mr. Robot.
before things would close? I think I'm looking to purchase blacksmith tools. I'm assuming I would get those at the range.
That would be a good spot to look. If you wanted to ask the mayor, he would tell you that like some of the shops would shut down at dusk, or some of them, depending on who runs it. Some of them shut down at dark. Some of them stay open late. Some of them turn into an entirely different type of shop. The range is definitely still a hub through the evening.
Okay.
Can I show the mayor my letter and be like, "Do you know who this guy is?" He said to meet him at the range, but
And he looks and goes, "Huh, all right. So I guess you already met the owner of the Whetstone. Yeah, no, you never mind. You don't need my introduction."
Oh shit!
I've definitely never met him. But
Well, if you show that card to the doorman when you get there, you guys are in good shape. He'll if you've got that letter, he'll stay open for you.
Sweet.
Maury, would you like to take a trip to the range with me?
I'll just do it. I'm in.
Do you need anything else, or shall we?
Oh yeah, unless you have anything else for me, you guys are all set. I plan on eating dinner and not doing anything else today because it's been a rather exciting day. Because you guys showed up this morning and came back with you woke up the robot in my basement, and here we are. It's been a day. I would like to go to sleep now.
What a day.
Should we come and talk to you tomorrow if there's new information, or will you send a plume of man to find us?
Actually, if you have anything, and he turns and goes, "Captain," and you see the red plume, like you hear the door open, and the man with the red plume, his helmet is off, and he's kind of tucked it under his arm. He's got this is the first time you've really seen his face. He's got that kind of, he looks like a boxer, like he's just very well built and muscly. His nose looks like it's been broken a couple of times. But just a very firm face, not necessarily like I'm gonna beat you in a back alley, but like kind of like a father figure where he's like, there are rules, and if you break the rules, you know what's gonna happen.
He is the law.
Not quite as like stone jawed as like Stallone or Arnold, but definitely like he'll thump you around if you break his rules.
Okay.
But he comes in and he goes, "Sir," and the mayor's like, "Tomorrow, what are we, noon? Do you think noon is enough time for you to start gathering information, or?"
That would mostly be on Thalia. She
Where
knows.
are we
I
going
haven't
at
been
noon?
here to the city before, sir, and I don't really know where I'm looking for things yet, but I'm sure if I stick with Thalia, we should find something.
One moment. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pair of glossy black stones. And they're glowing with like a really faint bluish light. And he hands one to Thalia, and he goes, "You can just reach out if you have any new information.
Of course.
It's a direct line it's a direct communication with me and only me. So it'll remain secret if there's anything confidential. But this will be the best way to get in touch."
And this is given to me by the mayor or the
This
captain?
is given to you by the captain, by
Okay.
the guard captain. You have Ascending Stone in your pocket.
Yay! I knew exactly what that was.
So now you have a direct one-way. You have direct two-way communication with this guard captain.
To Red
How
Plume.
you can FaceTime him.
He gave you those numbers.
You got those digits. You used to call me on my Ascending Stone.
Before
My
we
Ascending
leave,
Stone just overheats and explodes.
Oh, what's up, Mike?
before we leave, I'm gonna look at the mayor and go, "Excuse me, sir. Do I live in the basement?"
He's kind of just like, and Ergen starts laughing from next to him. He's like, go on. Tell him he lives in the basement. He's like you when you were a kid. He goes, shut up, Ergen. No, Robbie, you were in the basement for protection. But now that you are awake, you may come and go as you please. You are your own person. You can make your own choices, and if you would like to go back and stay there, you're more than welcome to. But I feel you may be more comfortable with your new friends.
I believe I will need a place to stay.
You can stay with us, and I slap him on the back. Is there like a ringy, empty teapot noise? Or is it just like solid metal?
So, it's solid, but it's not solid metal. And I definitely take a couple of steps forward because I have a -1 to my strength.
Oh, you are not a strong robot. Okay.
I look very strong.
Okay.
Magic
He's
robot.
burly.
Yeah, he's a magic robot.
He's big built.
What was that about the switching expectations?
Subverting. I am here to subvert all your expectations. I'm not fat, I'm just big built. So, unless there's anything else, we can do like a jump cut to you guys walking out into the city streets, the streets of Corvor at
I'm gonna bring
early evening.
my drink with me,
I would
and I'm gonna say, right, where are we going?
once we get out of the castle or the mayor's house, I would like to address the party.
Okay. Your current address is. God, I wish Siri existed in this world because that would have been the. Never mind. Anyway. What would you like to say to the party?
I'll just be like, hey guys, I don't really know what we're supposed to be doing now, but Maury and I are gonna go to the range and try to buy some things / make some things / he's gonna get free things. Do you want to meet for
I
dinner
hope so.
tonight at the
I
Twist
would
and
also
Shout?
like to come and buy and get free things.
Okay.
I would
Yeah, I'm
I would
down.
like to accompany you.
Oh, so
I would
Mouse.
also like to go there.
So we're all going pretty much.
I'm actually, I need to report back to the Brotherhood. There's been a lot, and I should get a head start on research.
Okay.
What brotherhood are you part of again?
The Brotherhood of Books.
Yes, books. Okay, very good. Have fun with the books.
Bob.
Thalia,
I'm gonna-
are you staying? Do you live with the books?
Yep.
Okay. We're at the Twist and Shout Tavern.
Thalia is.
If you
a
want to
book.
come for dinner, you're welcome to.
Sure.
Lythar, little woodsy friend, would you like to come with us to the range and seek stuff?
I would like to join you, but I would like to stay back and ask Thalia some questions about something. I will meet you guys there.
Okay.
Okay, but
We are looking for a place called the Whetstone. So, if you make your way there,
Whetstone.
hopefully we will find it before you.
We elves have a knack of finding things.
You think they have beer there?
Speaking of,
think so.
Ronan,
You should really
Do
I
you
think I
this
should
thing
bring some
Whetstone.
more beer there.
Yes, Maury.
do you know where the range is from here?
Yes, I do. If I could remember what color it was. Cat's Cradle.
It's this
Uh,
way.
Is it
So
the
so
Cinder
you don't
Wall?
have an
Wonder
actual
Wall?
map.
Yeah, we don't have
Ronan
that.
does
What the
not have an actual map.
Oh,
The map is mostly for you guys as players.
well, Well, fuck. No, I
I'm
have
sure-
no idea. Thalia, do you know where the range is?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, it's
just kind of point us? We have to walk
I feel
along the
like-
walls this way or this way, and there's a door in both
I'm-
ways, I'm hoping.
Is the
You know,
sun-
I
is
feel
the sun
like-
still out?
I'm gonna write this down because you're gonna forget, aren't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah.
But
As-
wait,
as you're
tell
starting-
Robbie, are you good at directions?
I'm telling you, it's that way, and I'm just gonna point in a direction.
Eh? Or write it.
I remember some things.
Curtis, what is it? It's evening. Is it like is the sun still out evening, or is it?
Sun is setting. You probably have another hour of daylight left.
Do a little praising.
Yeah, if you wanted to praise the sun, now's a good time. So as Thalia is writing down these instructions, you hear the sound of metal footsteps, and a patrol walks by, and it is being led by a man with a pink plume.
I get real excited and I go, Pink Plume Man!
And he turns and goes, "Oh, you there?
Hello!
I've seen you before.
Yes! How
You're
are you
trouble,
doing?
aren't you?
I don't think I am. Am I?
Trouble never asks me how I'm doing, so I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I hope you have a fantastic day. We are just on our way to the range to try to buy some items.
Oh, you're going to the range. Would you like an escort? Or you seem like you could take care of yourself, but I'd be more than happy to give you an escort and keep an eye out for rapscallions and scoundrels here in the city. We go through Greymire, and Greymire is a very dangerous place this time of night.
I wouldn't mind an escort.
No, you heard it, men. Step two. And the guardsmen are just like standing there with their pikes, and they're just like, God, okay. And like they break out, and so there's 4 in front of you and 4 behind, and he's standing at the front of them, and he's somehow the plate mail has shifted, and he looks more like a peacock, and he's puffed up, and he's like he's like a rooster in the hen house, and he's just this big puffed up looking dude. He's like, right then, is that all of you? Everyone's coming to the range? Come with me. And he starts marching down the main thoroughfare through the city.
I follow.
So Thalia and Lythar, they will march through Greymire, and you will end up on Scholar's Walk where the Brotherhood is.
Okay.
So it makes sense for that, Thalia, you know this. You're all going the same direction right now, so it's just easier to tag along in this mosh pit of guards.
Mhm.
And so as you guys are all marching, like you're being escorted, the lieutenant starts like kind of humming to himself under his breath. And Lythar, you hear it, and a couple people closer to him hear him like like he's humming a marching song under his breath. And all there's just like a general like feeling of just like God damn it, dude, just like stop. This isn't important. We found some civilians and we're taking them to whatever. And the other guardsmen are like in the back. These guardsmen are like, God, he never shuts up about this stupid thing.
If I may interject, Lythar wanted to hang a couple feet back with Thalia, so if they're walking in the back, they can talk while we're...
It's almost like you read my mind. Now's
Oh.
an excellent opportunity for the two of you to have that conversation, as it is conveniently covered by the sound of the lieutenant singing John Philip Sousa.
Sorry, DM. Your wisdom.
No, I appreciate that you're looking out for the other players because I want to make sure no one gets smothered. Anyway, so
I
now's
thought DP
your
was wearing
opportunity.
a towel.
He
Same.
is. DP is a towel. Did you not know that?
You're a towel.
No.
Nice.
Comedy Central definitely has lawyers to come after us. No, thank you.
Lythar, talk, damn it.
Well, I'm trying to think about what to say, cause like, all right, cause this is gonna have to probably take interjection from him / Rolls. I don't know.
Just
Alright.
start talking. I'll jump in when I need to.
Okay. So me and oh my god, Thalia are walking in the back, and I look at her and I say, so I've had this thing in my pocket for a while. I haven't really shown anybody. It sounds a lot weirder than it is. It's not. It is not a good start. So I'm just gonna pull it out of my pocket.
Just gonna whip it out like that, huh?
Just gonna whip it out. And I'm just gonna go, can you look at this and tell me if you've ever seen anything like this? And tell me what it means. Is this unique?
Oh my god.
Is the leftward slope normal? Does everybody's do that?
So Thalia, this elf just
ring shape.
This elf just went, hey, can you look at this and tell me if this is weird? And just like pulls something out of his pants pocket and thrusts it towards you and is just like, look at this.
I'm actually.
She's like, she just kind of stops, doesn't look, creaks an eye open, and is like, oh, what is that?
So if you want to describe what's in your hand, that is definitely not inappropriately shaped.
Well,
His
it
little
is a
elf
nut.
beater.
It is a nut, but some type of acorn that I was given when we first arrived here. I was the hell's the word? Meditating in this little like little garden area, and these trees came to life, similar to how we experienced on the way here before we met you. We almost died, but we got through that. And these trees, it felt very similar, and all of a sudden they just stopped. And apparently, it seemed like they chose me. I had no idea what it meant. And our elven friend with the mayor, that I always forget his name, but I know what it is, but I can't think of it. Huh?
Ergen.
Ergen, that's what it is. Ergen handed me this and said they chose you. You will know what this means when it is time. I still don't know what it means.
Is it time?
What is time?
Well, it's a social construct, really.
It's quite
That's-
confusing.
That's another story, and I feel like you're not interested in that story. I mean, I can take a look at it, but in my experience, I feel like if it's chosen you, I can't really do too much to help with that.
How much have you studied of elven lore or anything like that? How much do you know?
Fair bit. We have a lot of different subjects at the Brotherhood. It's been a while since I've done some reading, but
So I don't know who my parents are. All I know is where I grew up, things that happened, and then I left, and then I wound up with these goons. And I don't know anything about my purpose or my name. Just kind of here doing the things.
about that, not being rude. What's your name again? I just met all of you, and I don't actually know most of your names.
I kind of just do like that, like that gif of like the. I'm just like, well, I am Lythar Galandalel.
Oh,
What?
nice to meet you.
Bless you.
Galandalel.
Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Thalia.
I did remember that. I'm also trying to cycle through messages I had to find this thing I'm looking for.
Just awkward silences.
So if you want to, you could always give her. Thalia, do you read Elvish?
No.
So as he's holding out this acorn, it's a little bigger than your standard size acorn.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it's entirely made out of gold.
Ooh.
And
Chris.
give me a real quick
It's made of gold.
perception or arcana, whichever is higher.
It's his gold number.
Because I'm trying to think, Curtis. You gave me this riddle, but I don't remember how I got it.
Man, crappy rolls tonight. That's a 12. 12.
So there's definitely something magical, and as you're kind of like looking at it, it looks like there's some kind of writing in the surface of this. And honestly, Kendrick, I don't remember how I gave it to you either.
I know you messaged it
is
to
the
me, but I don't
riddle-
know if we had context for it. But
There
I
is
have
no
it right
keyhole,
here.
lock, or lid. Yeah, the golden treasure is hid.
No, we again, Peter Jackson has lawyers that will come after us.
But
And
Peter
so does-
Jackson doesn't own it.
No, but Tolkien's paying for Peter Jackson's lawyers.
Well, his son
Fair.
just died, so
Okay, so
Ooh.
the grandson's gonna come after us. But yeah, so
I
there's
have the
definitely
messages.
there's writing, Thalia. It's in Elvish. And
Do you know what it says? I'm working on my Elvish. It's not great.
yes, I do know what it says. What it says is, "Child on the wandering moon, you must know your family, where wood and water meet. Speak our names beneath the night, and receive your legacy." I just make a face of like.
The answer is not an egg.
correct.
Well, where water and wood meet, would I know where that is?
Um, there's nothing. It's very vague.
Okay.
Because so give me an Arcana check.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I literally Googled that, and I did not find shit. I
Because
didn't
he
know if-
made it up.
I didn't know if he did or not, though.
I made
That's a
this
nat one.
whole thing up. Do you have inspiration?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Can I inspire her?
No.
Well, you can't hear us.
You're this is a separate conversation that you're not involved in.
The lieutenants to and inspire me.
Harp, 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 harp.
Dun, 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 dun.
Unfortunately, no, the lieutenant cannot inspire you with his marching song. So like it's a nat one.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anything. It could be. Granted, your Elvish is a little rusty. It could be anything from like follow these steps and something happens, or it could refer to a specific place, or it could just be any combination of like. It could be as simple as like you put a stick in a puddle and say
I was just thinking that.
or it could be a specific place or something akin to that. It's definitely something that needs a little more research because your elven magic and history is a little rusty.
So, where are you from exactly? If you don't know your family,
Well, let me pull up my handy dandy biography. I can't find it in our fucking Discord because we spam it.
Hang on, I'll send it
Pulls
to
out a
you.
notebook that says Lythar on it.
I was picturing that.
Isn't it on your page?
Yeah, I'm looking. All right,
Why don't you have
Yes,
your page
here we-
open?
I do have it open.
It's under your notes section.
Boom, I sent it to you, Kendrick, because I have all of yours saved
Oh,
for
thank God.
exactly this purpose. Because I'm like, I need this information, so all of you will need this information.
So I just say, I come from a city called Favonora, where I was trained as a skilled ranger and hunter for the city. I don't know who my parents are. I was mainly raised by a mentor whose name was Farquhar.
And he didn't mention anything about your parents?
Nobody. They would never tell me. They said I would find out in due time.
I mean, theoretically, you could just place some wood near some water, like a stick, or, I don't know, water in a one basin. Try to say some names. And I guess it depends on how you view family. Because if you view your mentor as family, maybe that counts.
I just thought of something very deep, but it really has nothing to do with this. But it's
Daddy
cool.
wasn't there. Take me to the fair.
So as
A
you guys are
message
kind
to
of
Curtis because I want to know.
yeah, as you guys are moseying, you hear Lieutenant come here, halt, and everyone just goes stomp, stomp, and you are outside of the library of the Brotherhood of Books.
Well, I mean, Lythar, you're welcome to come see if you can find any answers with the Brotherhood. I'll try to help you out as best I can, but I guess right now my advice is to just be patient.
Lythar just kind of nods his head like, are there other people in like where we're the Brotherhood? It's like a big library, right?
Mhm.
So there's lots of other people there.
Mhm.
I kind of want to just go look for some water though.
Just make a hole in the ground, pee in it, and then put an arrow near it, and speak the Elvish word for friend.
And then drink it. And then you'll be Bear Grylls.
I'm gonna look at Thalia and say, "Thank you for all your help. I'm gonna join them and go to the range and deeply
Of
think
course.
about everything."
And, well, if you ever need to talk, I get what it's like not knowing one of your parents, at least.
Appreciate it.
Tear.
Bye, Thalia. We're gonna go buy sharp, fun, pointy, heavy
Bye.
things.
Wait,
Thalia,
what time is dinner?
Later.
Later. Are you going to be at this book place? Will they let me in if I come asking for you?
If you promise not to touch anything.
I won't.
I don't.
I don't.
Show me both hands. You're not crossing your fingers, are you?
He said he won't promise.
No, wait. I won't touch anything is what I meant. I promise.
I will touch things.
I'll come by myself. I won't bring
Touch the butt.
him.
Well, also, I'll get to meet all of you at dinner. Well, enjoy. Good luck shopping.
Thank you. Would you like us to look for anything for you, like a stick?
Stick?
I don't know. A flute,
Well-
maybe.
I mean,
A bassoon is really just a stick when you think about it.
What's a bassoon?
I have instruments here. It's not just like the
Sackbut.
serpent and the sack butt.
Sack butt. There it
Does
is.
that make
Fucking
an oboe?
shawm.
Does that make oboes smaller sticks?
Some hurdy-gurdies going on. Just a
The
bagpipe.
the lieutenant's like, oh, is anyone stopping here? Are we all going? Oh,
thank you, Lieutenant.
very, very well, ma'am. You have yourself a safe evening and good night. All right, everyone, next to the range, and just like. Oh,
I
did you have
curtsy
something,
to
Lemmy?
Thalia. I got a
This
7.
lieutenant has a mustache.
You've never seen him with his helmet off.
He has a mustache.
You can assume whatever you'd like.
Handlebar mustache, dude, with the
Yes.
twisty turns at the top.
Big poofy handlebar mustache. Yes.
So as Thalia, as you sort of break away from the group, this time the lieutenant is singing in a dialect that for everyone who speaks common sounds like a very heavy Scottish brogue.
Oh God.
And it's a heavy enough accent that it has rendered the words of the song illegible. It's just much louder than his humming before. It's the same song, apparently. He's just very happy to be out on patrol with everybody.
I'm gonna just go with a drone on my bagpipes just to help or tune out the rest of his humming for the rest of his guards people.
So he crit the performance check. He actually changes key to whatever to the note you played on the bagpipe. So he's just like, it basically was like, oh, I'm out of key. 1 moment, please, and just shifts key and just keeps marching. He like shifted up a third and is just happy as a clam.
Pickety
In
third.
full plate.
Well, if we all know one thing, Scottish isn't real English. The whiskey has corrupted their brains. So,
It's Scotch, thank you. The Irish make whiskey.
but the
'Cause they can't
Scottish-
make
the-
potatoes.
The Scottish just call it whiskey. We call it
Yes.
Scotch.
So it's going to be probably about 30 minutes of walking for the goon squad. If there's no real conversations, we could do a little bit with Thalia and then jump you guys out to the range.
Deal. Sure.
I just want
There's
to be walking next to Lami with my javelin out and looking at the sword and looking at my javelin again and just trying again real hard the whole time.
Give me a wisdom check.
Do it.
Oh. Do I just add my wisdom modifier?
Correct.
Yes.
Which is +0, 14.
Do I notice him?
He's not exactly subtle about it. It's hard to be subtle when you're 7.5 feet tall. But you keep seeing him like he's holding his javelin the same way you hold your sword when you're communing with the thing in the back of your head. You see that he's holding it in very much the same way. Even if like you just put it away, he puts his javelin away the same way that you put your sword away. There's an awful lot of mimicry. And he keeps looking over at your sword and back at his javelin, looking over at you and back at his javelin. But nothing seems to happen.
Look, my tiny friend, I know what you're trying to do.
Huh.
I
I'm
don't
not
know
trying
how
to
to
do
do it.
anything.
I don't know how to do it either. It just happens sometimes.
Huh.
It just there's this dragon lady. I talk to her. She's very nice most of the time. And then sometimes I ask her for things. She does things like that.
If your sword is on fire for more than 4 hours, please consult a medic.
Could you introduce me to the dragon lady?
I'm not sure if she'd like you.
Oh,
But you could find your own dragon lady.
oh okay. And I kind of like scamper on ahead a little bit.
You didn't even want instructions on that? You just...
Nope, I just, happy as a clam, I just scamper up kind of behind the lieutenant.
Okay.
Kind of march in step with him.
So as y'all are schlepping out, and if you pull up your handy dandy map, you guys have made it through Greymire, and you dropped off Thalia at in Scholar's Walk, that central square, and you are now trucking along that left side main thoroughfare. There's a bunch of people kind of moseying around. People are going to taverns and things for dinner. Shops are starting to shut down in this part of the city. But you're trekking your way out to the southwestern corner of the city. So, Thalia, as you walk up to the enormous wooden double doors of the Brotherhood's library, it feels kind of nostalgic because it feels weird because it feels like this is how a normal day would end for you. You've just left from the mayor's council meeting. Nothing exciting has happened. There's been new taxes. There's been an argument between rival families. Nothing crazy has happened. It's whatever. But as you go to put your hands on the door, you're like, this has been one of the strangest days I've had in a very long time. And it's kind of nice. Like, it's nice to see Ronan again, but today's been weird.
Yeah.
This is not what I woke up expecting would happen today. So yeah, what would you like to do? How do you want to?
I'm gonna open the door, push open the door. What's right inside? Is it like a lobby area? Is it like straight in the library?
So there's like a central vestibule where there's a large wooden desk, wooden with like a granite countertop, and it's very ornate. It's almost gaudy, except the Brotherhood is a little too austere for it to be too fancy.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of stroll in, there's an older looking gentleman sitting behind the main desk. There's chairs on either side where non-Brotherhood members can come in and ask for books or ask for information, and that's basically where they wait. But this older gentleman at the desk looks up when he hears the doors open, and he hasn't, like, his head lifts up. He's like, "We're closed for today. Please come back." And his eyes catch up with his head, and he's like, "Oh, wow, you're late."
You would not believe the day I've had, Ben. Would not believe.
I'm inclined to believe it. You're never late. So, an exciting day in the mayor's court, I imagine.
Take a guess.
Oh, let's see. The trading guild had another ship go down.
Ooh, close. Not quite.
There's alligators in the sewers, and they ate somebody.
It was the sewers indeed. Not alligators, though. Like, oh.
Ooh, or those. I bet it's those. We had 4 people come in today and say they were rat men. People said there were rats in the sewers, the size of a person wearing clothes.
That checks out. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's not actually rat men in the sewers.
As I live and breathe, I saw them. Oh, trust me. Where's that? Is that betting pool still going on for under the sewers?
Is the
city? Is the betting pool still going on for under the city?
Well, I guess I guess not anymore. If you were in the
I was beyond the sewers. Trust me.
Like, you were. What were you doing in this? Never mind. I'll read it in the ledgers tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And I won't tell anyone, so I get to read them first, and I can place a few bets on the side before the news gets out.
Yeah, just take some guesses.
Oh, I'll save the surprise for later. I don't want to spoil it for me. But Senior Scriv Hoptabush will be waiting for you. We'll be waiting for your report.
Okay.
Do you want me to let him know that you're here, or do you want me to just let you tell him?
If you could let him know, I'm gonna go to the rec room, grab a drink, sit down for a little bit. So tired, yeah.
If I may be so bold, a shower is probably not the worst idea for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking about change the plans about the rec. I'm just gonna head back to my room. Take care of that.
I'll ask Maria to send the usual drink your way.
Thank you.
Nothing quite like a shower hot chocolate, if I do say so myself.
Indeed.
And he goes, and he just kind of his head kind of sinks down, and it goes back, and you see that he's currently in the middle of copying an enormous illuminated manuscript that looks like it's a fresh arrival that came in today. And it's a big enough book that if the copy is going to go back to its owner tomorrow, he's going to be up a little bit. He's going to be up all night copying this thing down.
Crazy old Ben. I hope you're not staying up all night.
I don't need sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead, which is about when I finish this book.
Hey, gotta live to tomorrow to see what the story was.
This book won't. That's a good reason to keep going. You raised an excellent point.
Sounds good.
And so he, the door behind his desk opens up and just opens up into the familiar long hallway that you've been walking down, that you've walked down for the past few months as you've been practicing and training there. I'm worried that I lost you because your camera froze.
Oh no, I'm still here. Am I?
Okay. So you follow the usual paths. You go down into the hallway. You make your couple of turns. You get back to your room. You have a quick bath. When you come out of your come out from your shower, you see just a mug of hot chocolate sitting on your table next to your ledger entry for the day, with just a little note that says, Ben asked me to send this your way. Hope your day wasn't too bad, Maria.
Maria's a godsend. Take a nice sip.
Yeah, it's perfect as always. So typically your routine would be you fill out your ledger, you walk it back to the central scriv room where the third shift at this time of night, the second shift is towards the end of their run and the third shift is about to start, picking up where they left off. Usually you're here about middle of the second shift, so yours is done by the time third shift starts. But because of the excitement of the day, it's been a bit of a doozy. So you spend a little bit of time copying down all the notes that you've taken.
Yep.
And you still have the spell book, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just about to say, I make sure I have that out and ready to go.
Yeah. That spell book continues to be obstinately shut. Despite your best efforts to crack this thing open. It does not want to open for you.
Oh, I thought I had that book because I was gonna unlock it.
Yes, you were going to unlock it. I apologize. So
But
you don't have
give
the
it
book.
to me? Did you give it to me to keep safe?
Oh yeah, you're right.
She has
Because
waterproof
we were still in
things.
the sewers. You're
And I
right.
have the water. I've got all the waterproof stuff.
Gotcha. So yeah, you pull out the book, and yeah, there's the magic almost feels stronger in this particular space, but it still kind of refuses to open. And after you've copied down your ledgers for the day, is there anything you want to leave out of your account for the Brotherhood, or are you going to give them the truth, the full whammy?
I'm going to leave out exactly what the seer said to each of us. I'll mention that we ran into a seer, but I will not say what he said.
Okay. So yeah, you've finished your cataloging.
Also, I'd like to point out, since I don't know names, like I'll write down Lythar's name, and then the rest of them like dragonborn with giant sword. Like it's just random descriptions.
Gnome boy.
Gnome boy, half orc, robot, other robot, strange robot.
Metal man.
So
I know his name is Core. Never mind.
So you write this whole thing out and you take it. So typically your routine is you run it back to Central Scriv, where you just hand it off and it gets copied and disseminated through all the appropriate records. Are you just taking the and Central Scriv is also the best spot to kind of start your research.
Yeah.
If you want to do that.
I'm just going to take my ledger. I'm going to leave the book on my desk.
Okay. So you walk into Central Scriv, and it is a transparent cylinder running through the center of the building. As there's a staircase, and then on each of the floors above it is just desks and desks and desks of people writing and copying books as they come in. For probably 3 or 4 floors, there's just in every direction, probably 100 to 150 feet. As you climb up that central stair, you just see people writing and copying book after book after book after book. And then once you get past that 4th floor, you get into books that are being sorted, all the various steps in cataloging and processing all of these books that keep coming in every day. And you hear someone shout your name as you're climbing that central stair, and you see a younger man, probably like late 30s, standing on the 6th layer, where you normally turn in your ledger for the day, and you see the familiar face of your senior, brother Haftbush, waiting there, kind of with his hands on his hips, not quite scoldingly, but he's very, he's definitely not. He doesn't have a happy expression on his face.
Hey, I know I'm late.
You're very late.
But boy, do I have some info for you.
Uh-huh. They always tell me that when they come in late. Oh, I was going to say, and on that note, well, what a perfect cutaway.
I still hear Rachel.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. And actually, that does seem like a very good point to jump back to the other 6.
I'm gonna leave the call to let my laptop calm down for a little bit, and then I'll come back in a few minutes. So.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Damn laptops.
Damn laptops.
Although she was doing really well there for a while.
And then her video
Well,
froze, but we
DP's
weren't
on a
worried about
laptop.
that. So
Laptops
the 6 of you have all moseyed your cozy little asses all the way down to through the portion of the city, but you're walking between Stone's Throw and Sunnyside, and it's all of this. It's late enough. Everyone's kind of in a good mood. All of the soldiers are now singing along with the lieutenant. They may not be singing actual English, but you've heard the sounds enough that all of you can mimic what he's saying phonetically, if not translate it. Because Scottish is a language all of its own.
It's not a real language, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
they're
English.
so you're patrolling through, and as you're moseying through Sunnyside, a few late night revelers are out, and they wave to the lieutenant and wave to your group, and they start singing along as he walks by. Apparently, this is a fairly common patrol route for this lieutenant, and so everyone's kind of waving and giving him some greetings. And you get to an enormous gate. This one is made entirely of metal. This is a probably 40 feet wide by 60 feet high metal gate. It has a portcullis. It has all the usual accoutrement of a gate, except none of the other gates have been quite as intricate or well warded. Your experience in the sewers, recognizing the dwarven runes that Maury, I believe Maury pointed them out, Maury and Thalia. You recognize these runes, but they are not the burned out ones you saw in the sewers. These ones are very much functioning and intact. And you guys stop at the gate, and the lieutenant goes, 6 men to enter the range. They go, by whose order? And he goes, by my order. And they go, oh, why, of course, Lieutenant. And the doors, instead of the full height of these doors cracking open, a smaller door opens up at the base of them. And it swings out. And it's probably 10 feet wide by 10 feet high, just this perfect square just swings out with hinges that none of you saw before these doors opened. And the lieutenant goes, well, this is as far as I go. Enjoy your evening. And turns and takes his men and begins marching back up.
Excuse me, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Are we allowed to come back in after we go shopping, or must we wait for morning?
Depends how late you're out. The doors close at second bell past midnight. So as long as you're back in the city before then, you should be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Where are you
much.
staying?
At the Twist and Shout Tavern. Inn. Is it an inn or a tavern? I didn't write that down. I only wrote down the.
It's a tavern.
It's a tavern. Okay.
Well, there are worse places to stay. If you follow along, once you come into the city, you can go back into the central square and head east, or you can follow the walls of the city until you find the Cinder Gate, and that's closest to the Twist and Shout.
Okay.
We'll have guards. We'll have guards patrolling. We'll make sure you don't get lost, citizen.
Thank you very much. And I
Very good,
curtsy.
sir.
Very good.
Give me that curtsy check, please.
Yes.
11.
Joe Buskus.
He's like, you can't see any of his facial expression, but he kind of looks down, looks back up, and goes, "Good day, sir," and just pivots and smartly trumps off with the rest of his men, back away. So as you, the six of you, walk out in a cluster, there's actually a decent stream of people trickling in and out of the range. Now that these doors have opened, there's enough traffic going through. There's enough guardsmen that they're kind of keeping the door open for this burst of traffic. And you see a swath of buildings, all one, maybe 2-story buildings. And with every single one, you hear or see metalworking. You hear the sound of hammers, of forges, of bellows blowing, hot steel getting dunked into oil or metal. You're starting, as you walk further away from the walls, you start to see the flames are different colors. You're starting to see greens and purples and blues and deep, deep blood reds in the flames. You're starting to see what starts out as simple signs with you'll see like just a wooden anvil hanging from the side of a building, with forge lights glowing. And the further away you walk, you start to see different symbols. There's one that's just a skull done in a purple wood that if you didn't know better, looked like it would be glowing all by itself. And you're starting to see different symbols, and as you walk further out, you realize that this is where 99% of the magic is concentrated. And you're starting to get this weird kind of static charge all around you from all just the various kinds of magic that people are working in this area.
Do we notice any shops that look like they would have potions?
Yeah, you see probably 3 or 4 shops that have just like your usual potion file, in various colors. Some are red, some are green, some are blue.
I would like to go into one.
I as well would like to go into the potion shop.
Same.
Pick
First
a color.
one I see.
Red.
Red? Great. So you guys walk in, and it's inside you see what looks like a man in from the back. It looks like just a normal shopkeep. She's sweeping up behind the counter, and when the door swings open, you hear this gentle dong, and he straightens up and turns, and as he turns, you see that it is similar, but it looks similar to Robbie. And it's a fairly broad-chested warforged that turns, and he's like, "Oh, good evening. Welcome to my shop. What can I get for you, you fine gentlemen?"
We were looking for some potions.
Ah, yes. Well, you've come to the right place. And he locks eyes with you, Robbie. He goes, "Hello, sir."
Hello there.
Hello, I am Robbie.
And he kind of gives a little pound. He's like, "Hello, Robbie. What can I get you? Anything?"
Looking around the shop, do I see that he handles anything other than blacksmithing and potions?
He's predominantly potions of varying kinds. You all see signs that are like healing potions of several different tiers, kind of like a liquor shop, where you have like common, like the higher on the shelf it goes, the more expensive it is, but the more effective it should be. There's various small smithing works, small charms and things like that. No larger pieces of crafting. Nothing super unusual. There is a small behind him. There's a very small row of silver potions that are unlabeled.
Okay.
Is there anything I can get you, sir? Would you like to sit down?
Do you
Nope.
need to sit?
No, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, sir. What can I get you?
Since I do see a little bit of the working going on, I'm going to hold up the scroll and go, I need help attaching this to something. Could you assist me?
And he's like, may I see that? He takes it and he doesn't open it, but he kind of turns it a little and like pulls down one of the side pages, or like one of the edges where it can kind of be seen a little bit, and you see his eye. His eyes are a very dark blue. One of them brightens a little bit. He kind of just looks over it real quick, and then it fades black to the dark blue and goes, I mean, yes, I can. What would you like to do with this?
So I will remove the faceplate, and beneath the faceplate, whoever crafted me obviously has a sick sense of humor, because the perfect form of a human skull crafted out of metal sits behind the plate with 2 gems sitting in the eye sockets. And I will unhook one of the gems, one of the purple gems, and hand it to him.
And he's kind of holding the eye, and he's it's almost like Warforged don't get squeamish, but he's a little uncomfortable with the fact that you just popped out your eye and handed it to him. And he goes, yes. And he like reaches behind the counter and pulls out a small like tray and very carefully sets your eye on it. He goes, would you like this on both of them?
Do you have loners?
Let me look. And he goes behind the counter, rummages around a little bit, and pulls out a pair of mismatched, but they're the same size. One of them is black and the other is white. And he goes, This is the best I have. These are the only 2 I have that would match you. The color's a little off-putting, but some people like it. I know a lot of the organics tend to like the versatility. You can switch it up a little bit if you're really feeling something different. But these will both work. These should both work with work for you in that while I'm working on both of these.
I will pop one of the eyes in, pop my other purple gem out, hand it to him, and pop the other eye in.
And so they kind of settle in, and the lights they're working just as your other eyes would. Everything seems to be up to specs.
How long before I may return?
For both of these, and he kind of looks outside. If I close for today, are you sticking around? Will you be leaving town anytime soon?
I do not believe so.
Come back tomorrow, and I'll at least have one of them done, and we can test it.
Will this cost me anything?
we can discuss price later. The first eye is free as a proof of concept. Once we make sure that this works for you, we'll take care of the rest of it.
First taste is always free.
Is there anything else I can get for anyone here? I see you have a cough, good sir. Could I interest you in some of our medicinal potions?
Our
And he pulls out-
non-expired medication.
We were actually looking for just generic run-of-the-mill health potions. If you
Yes,
anything
you're
else.
looking. Adventurers, I see. Well,
Indeed.
in that case, here, and he kind of gestures you over to the row of shelves labeled healing potions, and he goes, "Well, here the bottom one. The bottom ones, they will work. They're a cure for what ails you, but I feel like you will need something a little stronger for your type of work. If I'm looking at all of you correctly, and I certainly hope I am, you all seem to be the adventurous type. You may need something more than oops, I fell and scuffed my knee. These won't grow back an arm. Those ones I keep behind the counter, but these will definitely keep you up and running in the face of extreme mortal danger."
I do like stronger things.
How much are the base versus the slightly better ones? Or the more better ones?
The more better ones, which I would strongly suggest for anyone who's going out and getting into trouble. I wrote all these down. I have to scroll back through all the fucking memes.
Oh, I actually have it open on my phone.
Scroll back.
It's right after We Are Worms. So if it's the same as what you told me, it's 100 for the little ones, 300 for the 4d4, and 750 for the 8d4.
That is standard. So he passes along that information to you. He's like, and of course I'm always willing to negotiate and work with you to find something that we can both work with. But that is the standard price. That's what you'll find at any of the shops. We haven't quite come to an agreement or a union about it, but that's the base understanding is, because if we all maintain the same pricing, then, as long as we all maintain the same standard of quality, everything should be fine.
That makes sense.
So what if I told you we're not just a gang of adventurers, but we're a gang of adventurers here to save your town and you and your store from being blown into oblivion? Then what would the price be?
The price would be 1 gold cheaper because you'd be the third person to tell me that today.
What if we were serious?
You would be the second person to tell me you're serious today.
What if we said we're so serious that if we don't get these potions, your stall will be gone tomorrow?
I just kind of look at him inquisitively.
And he kind of cocks his head in a very similar motion to Robbie's. It's a little more fluid and a little more organic looking. And he goes, "Are you threatening me, sir?"
I may be. So what would the price be in that case? With a big toothy smile on my face.
Roll an intimidate check for me, please.
My favorite. 25.
What did you get? What's your plus on that? Good God.
Plus seven.
So he kind of looks at you, and his face is implacable. No response. And he looks and goes, "What kind of potions are you interested in, sir?"
Healing potions, of course.
Would you like the common variety, or would you like the slightly better variety?
It depends what's your price on either.
Well, the common ones, which I would not suggest for such a fine gentleman as yourself. Those I'd be willing to, if everyone here bought one, 50 gold apiece.
I would like 2.
I think we are all getting at least one, and I would also like 2 of the small ones. I may buy a bigger one after we discuss some more prices, if that is okay.
The larger one, if everyone buys a larger one, I can do 250 a piece. If every one of your collection, and sir, and he looks over to Robin, he goes, the discount here can be applied to either the crafts work that I'm about to do or to these potions. For I do have something that will work for someone of your
stature.
For someone of our kind. I've been able to craft something that works as well for us as it does for them.
I'm putting the faceplate back on, and I look at him with the mismatched black and white eyes now, and I just go, "Do you have a veterans discount?"
Of and he's gonna
what?
do real quick. And he's like, of which war?
And I straighten up, look at him, and go, "Request information. What is your rank?"
He snaps to attention, throws a crisp salute, and in binary, it like opens his mouth, and in that same burst of pseudo static, effectively he was just like he was a peon. He was in the medical corps of of a fairly recent border skirmish. That really was just like he did that for a few years, served his time, and left. He did not see it. He's basically a medical corpsman who, after serving for 2 or 3 years, he left. He was discharged honorably.
So in binary, I will reply, information restricted. Access denied.
He pops out of the salute and kind of settles back into his more relaxed state. He goes, very well. Are these gentlemen with you, sir?
These are my friends.
And your friends shall receive the same discount as you. For just for today, in honor of the esteemed veteran that you've reintroduced me to, for we need to stick together here, you and I. I would be more than happy to have both the greater healing potions and also the superior healing potions at a significant discount. Greater healing potions will be down to 200 gold per. It doesn't matter how many you buy, just 200 a piece. The superior, these are the name brand sort of things. These are the top shelf that I have available. I can get better, but that may take some time. The top shelf version, I will go for the low price of 450. Just for today, but 450 gold for one of them.
I'll take 2 regular healing potions, please.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, was that a raising hand or a stretching?
I'm just scratching my back.
Oh, okay. I would like the 2 common ones and 1 greater, please.
Very good. That will be fuck, I totally forgot the math that I just said.
It was
It would be
100
300 for me. It's
Great.
50 per little one and 200 per slightly
For
bigger
the big
one.
for the big guy, yes.
So I will minus 300 from me. Rachel, I'm buying you one.
Would anyone else like a can I interest any of you in a purchase?
I will take 1 greater,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of like pick up Frank's head and plop it on the table. Do you have anything to help me fix this?
It's my child.
He kind of looks at Frank, and he goes, "May I pick you up? May I pick him up?"
Yeah, you can't speak right now.
Okay. So he picks up Frank, and he kind of holds him, and he goes, "You would like him rebuilt, yes? Or
Yes. Yeah.
okay. Well, how long will you be on the range?"
And I'll probably return around the same time that Robbie will.
Mm. Well, this is not necessarily my area of expertise. My metal crafting is often in the smaller, more detail oriented work. Have you by chance been by the Whetstone?
Not yet, but we're on the way.
I believe the owner of the Whetstone will be the most qualified person to help put your friend back together. I'm sorry I can't be of more use than that.
That's okay.
So he's as you guys are buying the potions, setting the money on the table, he basically is sweeping it into a pocket in his apron, his leather apron that he has. He goes, either of you two gentlemen, you elf sir and you Sir Orc, can I get either of you anything?
I just nod my head and say I'll take 2 of the common potions and 1 is the greater, just as the barbarian.
Very good.
300, correct?
Pull him off the shelf. 300 for you, sir. Takes the money. Kind of
Right to you.
tucks it right back in his pouch, and he, Sir Orc, can I get you anything? You see, you awfully quiet. Are you a hard sell? Or are you looking for something more specific, something different?
I'll just take 2 of the commons.
Two comments? Can't interest you in a greater like most of your companions? You seem like a hardy person. The extra health might get you a long way. Might keep you on your feet in a time of trouble.
It's 300 for all 3.
Yes, sir. 300 gets you 2 commons and a greater.
Yeah, I'll do.
Very good.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
I can't find a potion lower than greater on D&D Beyond.
Because the regular is just named Potion of Healing.
Yeah, you need to just go into the items and look healing or potion, and you'll find it.
But I typed in healing and nothing came up.
That's exactly what I did.
Potion of healing. Yeah.
And it just says potion of healing greater, potion of healing superior, potion of healing supreme.
Make sure you turn all the filters off.
All the filters are off.
That's really weird.
Oh, it's in other gear. It's not under potions. It's under gear.
You had a filter on, like I told you.
Oh. 2 of those. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
And he turns back to Rob and he goes, "Would you like? Can I get you anything, sir, or just the eyes?"
We will discuss further purchases when I come to pick up my eyes.
Very, very good, sir. If there's anything else I can get you, please let me know. Until then, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for stopping by the Burning Bottle. I will see you back here if you swing by around third bell in the afternoon. That should give me plenty of time.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. And he actually takes his hands and gives a very mechanically perfect bow to you, Robbie.
I would like to be the last one out of the shop, and I would like to ask the shopkeeper and just say, "What mark are you, if you don't mind me asking?"
What is my...
We were told that he was a Mark 1, and I was just curious if that had any significance.
And he's like, "Of course he's a Mark 1. That explains it. I am a Mark 7.
7, okay.
He is, for lack of a better term, the OG.
He's the
original generation.
would you mind if I stopped by tomorrow and asked you a few more questions? We don't know too much about our friend yet, and I would like to be able to have some conversing points with him.
I am always eager to serve. You are more than welcome to come back with him, or if you would like to have a private conversation, we can do that as well.
Thank you very much.
Ushers you out, and he goes, Thank you for stopping at the Burning Bottle. We're here for anything you may need. And as you leave, the door closes behind you, and the lights kind of dim as he goes back to sweeping the store. And as you all leave, I'm gonna pull out.
We're mauled by an owl bear, and we all die.
No, an owl bear wouldn't last like 10 feet into this place.
It's the bugbear, dude.
You
Lock eyes.
As you guys are walking out of this store, you hear a tremendous boom.
Bear.
And you start hearing a bunch. You just hear this one boom, and you start hearing cursing in a whole bunch of different languages. And the loudest cursing is coming from a dwarf. The loudest cursing is in Dwarvish, and it sounds like it's a couple of blocks down the way.
I start translating for anybody in the party that doesn't speak Dwarvish.
It's a lot of anatomically improbable things, and a lot of questions about the heritage of the individual, the accused individual, what his mother may or may not have been into, and what he can do with whatever dignity and pride that his family gave him, because he clearly isn't using it, so he should do something else with it.
And all of this in that nice lilty voice.
Oh, that is a mouthful.
It's an impressive string of cursing. And as the tirade is going on, it switches to Gnomish. And so
stop translating there.
Like mid curse, all of a sudden it switches to Gnomish. And it's the same voice, but the cursing is the same general vibe. It's just in a very different language, and it sounds very different.
Are we
but it's
walking
definitely
that way? Is that like in our path?
It's down the main thoroughfare, out here by the range. And as you get to it, if you look on the map, you're at the very bottom square in the southwestern corner. As you follow that main road, it's the furthest, or it's the second one in, where it kind of pokes out hard to the west.
Mm-hmm.
You guys walk up and see a very short, very hairy man, the source of all the cursing, is standing at the door, and he's got some kind of weapon in one hand, and he's pointing with the other, and he's switched over to Draconic and is now cursing this man out in Draconic.
What's he saying?
Snippets. It's a little accented. It's got it because it's still coming from. There's still like a dwarvish lilt to it, but it's involving things like I will light your ass hairs on fire, and then put them out by hurling you down a well, and after tying a rock to your feet, and other various like. Basically, I'm going to kill you in 1,000 different ways, and they're all going to hurt the entire time if you ever step foot in my shop again. And passed out on the floor, like just face first in the dirt and cobbles of the road, is a human who's wearing just like a long black coat, no hat, but is just like he's slowly, kind of groggily standing back up. And he switches back, the person who threw him out with this smoking cannon in his hand switches back to common and goes, And I tell you what, if you ever come back, I'll tell every one of my friends, and they'll never let you in. You hear me? You're dead in this city. You get out. And the guy's just like, and starts like crawling out, and he starts crawling away from the city. And after crawling probably 30 feet, gets up and starts to run. And he's like, and stay out. He drops the gun into his hands and goes,
Bye-bye.
who the hell are you?
Who are you? Is a much better question, my small hairy friend.
I'm the owner and proprietor.
The owner and
Hey,
proprietor.
I'm gonna go over to Lonnie and
pulls
just
up.
smack him in the side of the head. Just a big old slap. Do I have to roll to hit? With
No,
his armor class of 80?
it's a gib slap. Like you're just kind of swatting the back of his head. As I was saying, I run the Whetstone. And he points up at the sign, and the sign is just a regular square piece of wood, but it has a pouring mug. The image on this is a pouring mug of beer into a quenching trough with a sword going into it. And he goes, "Can I interest any of you gentlemen in a drink?"
Actually,
I
you
would
can
like a drink.
interest us
I
in
would
many
like
things.
I would like several drinks. Let us proceed.
Give Lythar the cherries.
He drops the gun, and as it's dropping, you guys see the same E that you've seen on Maury. You recognize it from the letter you received, and also the two handguns you're carrying. You see that same very stylized E on the stock of this gun that he's holding. And he goes, "I'd like to invite you in, but I've just thrown out my one trouble for the night, and I don't want any more."
I can
You
promise
understand?
you, sir, we were actually looking for your shop. The mayor sent us this way.
Oh.
And I've got a letter. Kind of like wave it.
He's like, all right.
I promise
Come.
I will keep the Dragonborn in check. And I curtsy.
I didn't do anything to warrant this
14.
behavior.
14, he goes. And he looks at you very strangely with the curtsy. He's like, all right. Give me one at a time. Let me look at you one at a time. You with the letter. Come here first.
Kind of hobble.
I hop up to him, and he looks you up and down and goes, "Where you from?"
Well, that's a good question.
They tend to be. Are you? Let me see the letter that's apparently I sent you.
They sent it to someone.
Well, I was given to it by some of the mayor's friends.
Takes the letter, pops it and goes, "Oh no, oh, you're the one asking for the guns. Yeah, no. Yeah, sure. You haven't found any guns in the meantime. I'd hate to have to beat someone else's standard of work."
Well, I'd have these, which also have, I'm guessing, your signature on it.
Are you holding out both or just one?
Yeah, just one.
He's like, kind of takes it from your hand, and his hands are definitely like, as you're getting a better look at him, he's shorter than your standard dwarf, and he's a little less stocky and hirsute, but and his fingers are a little less blocky. They're a little more nimble and dexterous than you would expect from dwarven fingers. And he's like, he kind of flips the guns over, kind of looks at them, He goes, where the hell did you get this?
I found them.
Internet.
They happen to be on a dead guy that I
Mhm.
passed.
Did you kill him?
No, actually.
That's a shame. If you killed him, then these are technically would be yours. You found him, so that's a future conversation. And he does another once over, and he goes, "Was the man who had these in a long coat and a stupid hat?"
I kind of look over at Robbie.
I recognize that coat and stupid hat anywhere. But I don't recognize the guy wearing them. Well, yeah, you're right. That's my handiwork. We'll have to discuss that over a drink or three and figure out proper handling of all this. But welcome to the Whetstone. My friends call me Ed. You can call me Ed if you like, but that doesn't make you my friend. He motions you in. He's like, oh, and the rest of you are with him, I assume. You're going to ride his tiny little Nomi coattails into the room.
Well, you can ask me questions if you would like, but yes, we are friends with him, sir.
None of you've got guns, do you?
No, we do
No,
not.
no guns.
No, sir.
I have this, and I pull out the big hook arm.
The fuck is that?
This is an arm of a beast that I was certainly hoping to try to make into a weapon for myself.
The fuck are you bringing that into my shop for?
The mayor told me to bring it here, sir. I apologize.
Of course he did. Alvaron's always making me do his shit. All right, come on. He's like, you, and he points at Lamy. He's like, you don't break anything.
I won't break anything. I'd like to
If
buy
you-
some things.
If you'll breathe fire in my shop, I'll throw you out like I did that guy.
What would I do that for?
Because you're an asshole.
Correct, but
I walk up to Lavi. I try to put my arm around him, but I'm assuming he's still a good bit taller than me. And I look at the dwarf and I go, "He might be an asshole. He's our asshole."
Right. And he's not my asshole. And that's what I'm worried about.
We'll keep him in check.
I'll
Don't
throw-
worry. Do you see this other big guy? Don't worry. We got him in check.
I mean no harm unless
Oh.
you mean me harm.
Oh,
In case we've got a problem.
yeah, all right. Get in there. Tell Suzanne you're looking for a drink and she'll get you squared away.
I like Suzanne already.
He looks at-
As we're oh, never mind.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying if we were walking in, I'll just whisper to Lami, "Don't talk too much in there."
Why? I want to buy things.
He's gonna kind of walk over and who wants to go in next? So we
I'll
got,
go
like,
in.
most of
I'm
the-
going in.
So yeah, I've got 4 of you in. I've got Ronan, unless you want to have a conversation with him. We did Lythar, we did Lami, we did Mori. So it's really Robbie and Thrall who wants to go in next.
I'm going.
Yeah. He gives you a once over. He's like, you look like a soldier.
Indeed.
You look like you've done this before.
Indeed.
Hmm. You only poking with a big stick, or you do any long range work? I'm always looking for people that I can trust in a tight spot.
I'm a stick poker.
Everybody needs a stick poker. Well, and I'll tell you this because I know you're not going to wreck the place. We've got training dummies in the back, and I've got if you're looking to trade out your stick poker for something a little different, I may have a few things that might be of interest to you.
I'm intrigued.
Let me know. I look forward to learning more about you this evening.
Oh, but I'm the asshole.
And, and as Thrall goes in, he goes, "So what are you doing, Shiny boy? Why are you wearing a dead man's cape?"
It was given to me.
By the dead guy.
No, he was dead.
So who gave you the dead guy's jacket?
And I just point to the people that walked in.
You're not very bright, are you?
You would like to think that.
No. And he kind of leans close and he's like, "What the fuck happened to your eyes?"
I am receiving an upgrade.
Upgrade to what?
And I'll just pop the mask off.
Roll an intimidate check for me.
Oh Lord.
26.
Ooh, is that a nat 20 for you?
No, that's an 18.
Cool. So Ed does not give a shit. He just like, he's looking at you and the faceplate comes off and he goes, "By my blood." And he reaches up a hand and just like starts running a finger along like the carved part of your face, like that perfect skull. And he's like, and he gets up close and he reaches into his pocket with the other hand. He pulls out what just looks like a cube. And he just shakes it a couple of times and it starts to glow with this golden amber light. And he holds it up and he goes, "Well, I'll be." What do you remember?
I remember a lot of things.
And he goes, "Memory query, first entry, date."
Oh no.
Very not harshly, just like, and all of this clicks into your that long dormant part of your brain that's been popping up to the surface recognizes this query, recognizes this command line.
You said first memory?
Yes. Date of activation.
Date of activation. I will request an access from him.
He goes, Edward Dunningham, First Engineer Corps. And that reads, it does not give full access, but it gives access to date of activation.
Okay. First entry. There is light. Nothingness to somethingness. I am standing. The room is well lit but bare. Two people stand before me. They're expressing something to each other. Emotion? I do not seem to have files accessing emotion. I am designed. Their design.
He kind of holds up a hand and he goes, "Well, I'll be. Finally, someone older than me walks into this bar.
Wait.
What's your name?"
How old is he?
Hello. I am Robbie.
"Hello, Robbie. You can call me Ed.
Hello, Ed.
Come on inside." And he walks into the Whetstone with all of you. And inside the Whetstone, actually, Rachel, are you here?
I am.
Cool. So we'll jump back to you over at the Brotherhood of Books.
Back to you, Chacha Bacha.
At the
This
Bob.
works out 'cause I have to pee again.
Not this reporter, that's for sure. We'll jump back to you, having given your having just dumped a whole bunch of exposition on your supervisor. You guys have moved to his office, which has very few actual books in it. It's the only one of the few offices with an outward-facing window, overlooking the city, and he kind of looks, and he is kind of dumbstruck with all this information that you just kind of dumped on him, and he goes, he had a glass of something that has been left on his desk and kind of forgotten, and he's sitting there leaning forward on the desk, like very, very attentive to what you just told him, and he's like, so now what? I'm assuming all of this information is in your log.
Oh, yes, and it's like 6 pages long.
Only 6? Oh, wow, that's
well, more than that. It's in shorthand. I figured,
that's fine. We can translate that. That's one hell of a day.
Yeah, you're telling me.
So is there? It sounds like there are several mysteries that you've got that have shown up. Which one do you want to tackle first?
Oh,
we can ask other scrivs to help us if you'd like, or if you want to go this alone.
We definitely need to ask someone to look up Fearnax and Ragarin, see if there's any connection, because whatever's under the city, that's big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can handle that on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Regorin. You said King Regorin.
Yes. Dwarven. His name was on the seal of the door.
Mm. So we'll pass that down to Patrick in Dwarven histories and see what he can dig up.
And along with that, we should probably, the mayor did request if we could find anything about was it Stonehearth or was it, did I get it right?
Stonehearth, yes.
Stonehearth. Yeah, we should pass along try to find any lineage records of the Stonehearth clan.
Mm-hmm. That'll also go to Patrick. Oh boy, he'll be so excited. He's been so bored the last couple of days.
Can't blame
God,
him.
he won't stop talking to me. He keeps trying to get me to play this role-playing game with dice and things. It doesn't sound.
You should try it. It's actually much funner than it looks.
Have you played? It's something like it's like.
I mean, I haven't had a ton of time to play. I'm pretty new to the whole thing. It's been kind of hard with the training that you guys have put me through, and then the mayor. Although the mayor, sometimes it's a really nice stress relief after dealing with the mayor all day.
That's fair. I'll see if Patrick has an opening in his next session, and it's something called like Caves and Cryptids or something like that. It's a very strange thing. And anyway, that's not the point. That's not why we're here. There's bigger things here. So you found there's a dwarf. I need to ask some of our the adventurers we keep on retainer to go talk to these rat people in the sewers, because there had been all these rumors, but we always thought there was just like all the sewer gators and the giant piles of vegetation that try to eat people, which are also apparently true. So he pulls out a quill and starts jotting down things. Is there anything else? Any this is really extraordinary. This was not at all what I expected when you were coming back today.
I was not expecting it myself. I was ready for another day of council meetings, let me tell you.
Oh, tell me more about these machines that you encountered. We have Warforged working here, but not anything like the 2 you encountered today.
The Mark 1 or the tiny metal dwarf?
Honestly, either.
The Mark 1? Well, I'd say if we could do some research, that would be good. The mayor and Arkin seem to know a bit more, but they were kind of in the dark about the whole circumstance.
Mm.
And the Primus, I don't know what that's about.
Primus. Yes.
As
well,
for the shiny metal dwarf, I've never encountered anything like it. I mean, they say his companions say he was a full flesh dwarf, and then these nanites, microbes. I don't know what they called them, but something happened and he just went full metal.
That. Hmm.
Have you heard
They
of
s-
anything like this?
There was a report that we wrote down. I believe. Who had that? And he sort of reaches over and picks up a red stone, and he sort of brings it to his mouth and says, "Jenkins, can you bring me that caravan report that we got towards the end of the day today? It came across my desk and I didn't really read it. I need to take a second look." You from the stone here. Yes, right away, sir. And he puts the stone and goes, "There's one thing that we may have heard. It could be nothing, but there was a report from a caravan that came through earlier today that reported something to the city guard, and naturally it got passed along to us for records. Mind you, there's nothing we can really do about it." And a few seconds later, Jenkins appears, and Jenkins is hilariously enough, is a younger looking gentleman, probably in his late teens. He just sounds kind of stuffed up and pretentious. And he goes, "Yes, sir. Yes, here's that letter for you, sir. Is there anything else I can get you, sir?" And he goes, No, go ahead, Jenkins, and you're good to head off for the night. Your father will be done with his guard shift soon, and he can take you home." And he goes, "Oh yes, thank you, sir. Yes, the lieutenant will be very happy to see me." And he turns and leaves. And he looks at the paper. He's like, yes, apparently not only as they were coming from a place called Long Pike, and there was some kind of disturbance on the road, and they were forced to detour around the Elderwood. There was something. They're just like the only thing they say are just like tiny machines were following them. They weren't able to bring anything back, and we honestly thought that it was just, they'd been drinking a little bit in the saddle as they came from Long Pike. But this, combined with what you're telling me,
We have a much bigger issue on our hands here.
that's my idea. Coincidences happen, and I don't trust them. We'll do some research. You've done enough work for today. The evening is yours to do with as you wish. You can pass over your turn at copying. I'm sure that someone else will be in trouble enough to pick up the slack.
Should I report to the mayor's mansion at the normal hours tomorrow morning?
If you think it's useful, I think you have firsthand knowledge and know where to begin looking for more information. This may be a larger puzzle than any of us know what to do with. I'm going to keep this quieter. Your report will go out. We'll see who actually reads it. I'll send this up to some of the higher level librarians and possibly the head librarian. They will be informed, but we will keep this quiet for the time being. And your official report may not make the official publication for the rest of the city to read, because if the city found out that there's some kind of ancient dwarven evil hiding under the city, well, that's going to just cause a panic.
Yeah.
And we don't want that now, do we?
No, sir, we don't.
My thoughts exactly. Well, thank you for bringing this to my attention, and
Of course.
we'll touch base in the morning. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
You as well, sir.
And stands up and gives a polite bow and takes your copy and leaves with it. So you are now free to do whatever you would like for the rest of your evening.
While I'm waiting for people, I'm gonna go back to my room and start looking up mending.
Okay. So that's the sort of thing that you could just ask a scriv to bring you a spell book that you could learn from, and you can copy that. So yeah, we can jump out to the other group while you're doing mending. So as you as all of you walk into the Whetstone, you see that it is it
wet?
almost looks like it looks like an amalgamation of 4 different buildings.
It's moist.
It's the moist stone.
As you walk in along the wall that's across the front of the building is 3 massive kegs, like the full size that a regular human could walk down the center and not touch the top of it with his head. And then several smaller kegs stacked in between, and a shelf is built across the front of the larger kegs, and there's a huge assortment of beers and spirits and harder liquors across that shelf.
Yeah.
And there's a fairly attractive blonde woman standing at the bar, and
I like this place already.
she's making conversation with a few surly looking gentlemen. They all have that same leathery look that adventurers get after they've been traveling a while. Like they're dried out, they're worn out, but they all look like they're handy in a fight. But they all seem to be at their ease, laughing and joking with the barkeep. And so that's along the one wall. Across the other wall, there's several tables scattered across this side of the room, and then there is a large steel door and what looks like a glass wall that looks into a forge and a pretty well stocked smithy, kind of tucked along that one wall. And the forge fires are banked for the time being. It looks like whoever was making something is done making stuff for the day. Inside there's a large supply of different kinds of metals and also what looks like some alchemical agents, and surprisingly what looks like a metal box with scrolls in it, sort of inside this forge shop. So that's the wall right as you come in, the far wall. And then about that wall extends for probably 50 feet and then stops. And then there's just a long expanse of open wood running probably 250 to 300 feet, just running out. And at the far end, the roof stops about 50 feet from the end of this wooden walkway, and there's a row of targets along the far wall. Some of them look reasonably recent and fresh, like they haven't been shot too regularly, and some of the others have definitely seen their share of injuries and damage and stuff like that. And then coming back across the wall, there's a glass case with a few different weapons, some animal trophies, some monster trophies, and then a small door leading off to an adjoining room that you cannot see into. And as Ed walks in, he's like, "Well, don't just stand there. Grab a table, grab a drink, do whatever. Just don't shoot anybody, Or for those of you who can't shoot, don't stab anybody.
Sounds reasonable enough.
I'll be,
Yep. Good, simple
be-
rules.
if there's anything specific you'd like, or I'll just get a round of beers and ales for the table.
Sounds perfect.
Beers, ales,
Absolutely.
Aye.
Bears.
Cherries, do you want beers? Do you want cherry in your beers?
Just cherries for Lathar. Just
Just-
a big pile of cherries.
Big pile of cherries.
Please no.
He's like, I've got an idea. And he kind of gets up close to Lythar and he goes, would you like a drink called Pile of Cherries? Which
Are we whispering or like?
he like kind of leads in close. It's a one-on-one conversation. He goes, I've got a drink called a Pile of Cherries.
What's in
You want? Well, cherries for the most part.
Size cherry.
It's got dwarven firewater. To be quite honest, I've only made it once or twice, so my memory's a little foggy. I could just throw a bunch of stuff in with this cherry liquor I have and see if you like it.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect. Pile of cherries coming right up.
I just like kind of look at Thrall like,
He shuffles off to the bar, and as he gets behind the bar, you cannot see him. All you see is the muzzle of the blunderbuss poking up above his head as he goes behind the bar, and you see the muzzle of the blunderbuss walk by, and the woman at the bar kind of yelps and kind of swats at him, and you just hear like this chuckle as he walks past her. And goes over and starts like, you see the hands come up and he starts like 4 different beers out of one of the kegs, and he starts grabbing another drink, and then he sets the stuff down and shuts the 4 taps, and the beer foams up just to the point where it's going to spill over. The head's about to spill over, and then it settles and starts kind of collapse back down. And you see him just like reach up and like grab that bottle and sets it down, and grab another bottle and sets it down, and then you see the arms come up, grab like 6 bottles, and go back behind the counter. And you hear over like the sounds of conversation, you just kind of see bottles going back up on the counter, and then there's a puff of red smoke. And he goes, damn it, the fuck was that? Puts the bottles back up, and he comes out, and he's got an arm wrapped around 4 or 5 tankards, and in the other hand he has a metal tankard that's still smoking. It's got just wafts of red smoke coming out of it. Comes, and his face is covered in like red soot. And he goes, he comes over and he sets the tankard down in front of Lythar, and he goes, don't touch that. It's still a little hot. He goes back and starts he puts the ales in front of everybody else. And he goes, right, I've got some business to take care of. You guys enjoy your drinks. I'll be right back. And he goes off into, goes back behind the bar, into the kitchen area, and leaves you all with your drinks.
We drink them.
Yeah,
I guess I was gonna go and blow out my tankard because it said it's hot.
So when you pick up the tankard, or like when you go to move it, the handle itself is cool. But when you like move your face close to the mouth of it, it is the closest feeling you have to it is one time you got too close to a forest fire in your youth. It's got that overwhelming heat, but it's pouring out of probably a 4-inch circle.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna put it back down, just like for a little bit.
Just let it cool off.
Let that
Um, so as you guys are enjoying your drinks, he comes back and he's got a bar towel and he's kind of cleaned off his face. He goes, "So why'd the mayor send you to me?"
I am looking for a forge that I could possibly use or hire to assist me in. I used to be a blacksmith in my hometown, and I enjoy making some things, and he sent me to you.
What are you looking to make?
And I pull out the arm, and I pull out the hook of the other arm, and I kind of explain to him, you know the idea. I want a chain attached to this one hook, 30 feet of chain. I have 30 feet of chain. And this arm I would like turned into basically a great sword that I can also hook people with, pull them to me.
We can talk about that. I have a forge, as you can see over there, and I might be able to help with that if you're willing to help me work on it or pay me to work on it.
Indeed.
You seem like a upstanding young. Are you young? Yeah, you're all young to me. You're a upstanding man.
Thank you.
And he kind of looks and he's like, you little know me friend. Are you still looking for? Do you like the guns I made you? Like the guns I made? Or are you looking for something different?
I like them. I wouldn't mind something a little bit more long range now, though. I've got the short guys. I wouldn't mind something a little bit bigger.
I may have something that can help. He kind of looks around at the rest of you and he's like, I talked to the Tusky guy a little bit earlier. I might be able to help with that. And he looks and he takes a good look at Lamy in his full plate and he goes, I'm sorry I didn't say this earlier, but the fuck is that? What the fuck are you wearing?
Well, I found it, you see.
Did anyone else find any weapons or armor or anything on these mysterious adventurers that you found? Tell you what. I'm going to get another drink for me.
Me too.
You're going to get a drink for me. I appreciate your generosity.
I will
You know
also
what?
get
You
a
should
drink
come.
for you.
You
deserve it at this point.
You are all too kind.
I hand him my drink.
He's like, yeah, that's can't be mad about that. Like, thank you. And since you all have so generously asked to buy me the most expensive thing on the house, I'll be right back. And in fact, since you've all offered to buy, I'll be kind enough to share with all of you. And I need to know the story of how you all came by this miraculous pile of things.
Very
Yes.
Right before he leaves, I'm gonna be like, when can I drink this? It reminds me of a wildfire I experienced, and it almost burned my face off. It smells delicious, but I don't think it's gonna feel good in my esophagus.
Chug, chug, chug.
Is it safe yet, or is it an illusion?
Nothing's safe.
Right, T.O.
Welcome to the Whetstone.
Nothing's
And
safe.
he kind of looks over and he goes, yeah, I'd drink that. You could drink that. You'll be fine. You're no pansy. Unless you are a pansy. And he turns and walks.
I'm not. As he walks away, I'm not. I'm no pansy.
I just push the drink. Yep.
Are you actually drinking the
I'll be like, I'm done, Pansy. I'll take a sip.
Give me so when you drink it, you feel that heat. You feel that heat just like concentrating on this part of your face. But when you drink it, you feel that heat immediately turn into a really incredible warmth. And it's just like this very comforting, warm sensation. And it tastes like cherries that you picked at like the height of summer, where like it's warm, you're a little too warm to be comfortable, but the cherries are cooler than you, and so it just has that perfect, like, it tastes like a summer day and you're sitting in the woods eating a pile of cherries that you just picked.
So I'm
And
gonna
it's like,
sit there with the most content face of like,
Let us high.
yeah,
basically you're stoned.
Yeah.
But like it's just like a very comforting, happy feeling. And then like the back taste, like there, so it starts there and it kind of pushes through, and then towards the end you get that feeling of sitting around a campfire at the end of a long day and everyone's just kind of relaxing. And that's every time you take a swallow, you're getting this like this full mental trip that you go on with every sip.
A campfire song.
And so he comes back with more metal tankards of something different for each of you. Or at least it looks different, because instead of having that curl of red smoke, you're getting, the smoke is constantly oscillating between different colors. And for you, Robbie, he pulls out he comes back and he goes, I found this. I forgot I had this in the cellar. And he pulls out what looks like a cube-shaped gem of an amethyst color, but it's got flecks of like a sky blue in it. And he goes, I think you may be able to enjoy this. I'm not sure if this was in a Mark 1 or if this got added in the Mark 2. If it's not in the Mark 1, I'm terribly sorry that I don't have anything for you. And he sets all the drinks down, and he sits down at the table and is like, so what the hell happened? How did you get here? And that, I think, is an excellent point to stop.
Ooh.
But I wanted to build my sword.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're getting there, Chris. We're getting
there.
Yeah, I gotta
Things are
get a
happening.
katana.
We gotta upgrade some weapons and things.
Yes, let's not forget that it took us a month and a half to go through a
To get out of the
6-hour
sewers.
journey in a sewer.
Yeah. So yeah, because I was talking to Rachel today, and she's like, how long has this been going on? I'm like, you found Robbie like less than 12 hours ago. She goes, oh god.
In that amount of time, he's got a funny coat and a funny hat.
It's been a fucking
Best
like
thing ever,
whirlwind adventure for Robbie. He's been basically, you woke up a toddler and now you're like an angsty teenager with PTSD.
That's good.
Don't all angsty teenagers have PTSD?
No, I'm not quite as bad as this.
It depends.
Yeah. Chris, are you still recording?
I am. Do you want me to not be?
I feel like that's a good point. It's a good point to stop.